She really wanted to stand up and slap Bradley on the cheek, but she was still tied up. So Lily spat at him. Bradley's face turned bright red and his mouth twisted. I had adored you for so long. Today I can finally get what I wanted. Suddenly, the door burst open with a violent kick. Bradley, you'll never get away with this. What can a useless piece of crap like you do to someone like me? Do you really think I came alone? Kevin asked. Right then, they heard sirens out in the street. Kevin, you actually called the freaking police? You're damn right. If you release Lily now, you might get a lighter sentence. No way, you're lying. As long as I have hostages, the police can't do a thing. Bradley, if you want a hostage, let them go and take me. Lily was floored when she heard Kevin say that. Her eyes filled with tears. Kevin, no. Get out of here while you can. Lily, what are you saying? If he wants to be Bradley's hostage, let him. Meanwhile, the police outside had already told the Jones family what was happening. Grandma Jones showed up with the older members of the family. Officer Emmett, how is the situation now? There is a man named Kevin Williams currently speaking with the kidnapper, identified as one Bradley Smith. Officer Emmett, are you sure you didn't make a mistake? Bradley is a fine young man. I can't believe he would do such a thing. Suddenly, another officer ran up to Officer Emmett. Ma'am, the sniper in position on the roof across the street radioed in that Mr. Williams seems to be discussing something with the kidnapper. It appears that they are discussing a hostage exchange. Dorothy and Lily are very important to us, but Mr. Williams is different. He has been pretty useless to us for the past few years. If he can get Lily and Dorothy back, then let him do it. Officer Emmett clearly thought that this was a terrible idea. No matter what she thought of Kevin, he was still a human life, and it was the police's duty to protect him. Meanwhile, in the house, Bradley was deep in thought. Bradley, what are you waiting for? I'm your only chance to get out of this. A second later, Bradley pointed his knife at Kevin. You want to be a hero and save this damsel in distress? Okay, you get your wish. Put your hands over your head and slowly walk over here. Not so fast. We'll count to 3. When we get to 3, I'll walk over to you and you'll let Lily and her mom go. At the count of 3, Kevin slowly walked over. As he brushed past Lily, he whispered, Lily, don't be afraid. You're safe now. Don't wait for me. When Lily heard him, she trembled. As she walked towards the door, she turned her head and saw Bradley grab Kevin and put the knife to his neck. Dorothy grabbed Lily's wrist and pulled her out of the room. Little Dorothy! Lily, are you all right? But Grandma, Kevin is still inside. We're ready to leave now. Isn't that person inside a member of your family? No, we have nothing to do with him. But Kevin didn't care what Bradley thought, or even what the Joneses thought. Aren't you curious why Williams Media suddenly pulled its support? They even withdrew all the funds that were invested in your project. How did you know that? Did someone at Williams Media tell you that you'd offended someone? I'll bet you don't even know who it was. How the hell would you know? Meanwhile, out in the street, a police officer suddenly ran up to Officer Emmett. Ma'am, for some unknown reason, the kidnapper suddenly knelt down in front of the hostage. What did you say? She quickly walked to the vantage point across the street from the house. She definitely saw Bradley kneeling in front of Kevin. Then Bradley threw his knife on the floor. Please, sir, I beg you to let me go. This was all my fault. All right, you can go outside and surrender. After you get out of prison, if I never see your face again, then I won't press charges. Emmett walked up to Kevin and asked, Are you hurt, sir? Thank you for your concern. I'm fine. If there's nothing more, I think I'd like to leave. Suddenly, a line of limousines pulled up along the curb. Cook quickly got out of the lead car and gave Kevin a warm handshake and a pat on the shoulder. Kevin, I've been looking for you for hours. Are you all right? Let's get out of here and I'll tell you all about it. A little while later, Cook was in his office at the Whistler Hotel. Drake was standing contritely in front of Kevin. What do you have to say for yourself, Drake? I had no idea who you were, Mr. Williams, but I do now. Please let me go. I'll do anything you want to make it up to you. Sure. I'll let you go, but I'll just ask for one thing in return. You are going to keep an eye on Jason Jones for me from now on. Drake was grateful, but Kevin didn't say anything more to him. He didn't even bother to look at him. A couple of days later, Kevin went to a real estate agent down by the Loop in downtown Chicago. "Hello, sir. Is there anything I can help you with?" A staff member asked as she walked up to greet him. I'm looking for a condo." "I'm sorry, sir. We're really on a break right now. Our lowest offering is $300,000. If there's nothing else we can do for you, please show yourself out." The agent had already made up her mind that Kevin was probably working on the construction site down the street. He just came in to look around and enjoy the air conditioning. At that moment, two people walked up. Kevin was startled to see them and it showed on his face. "Kevin, what are you doing here?" The man with Lily suddenly blurted out.
"Lily, what did you just say? This is Kevin? That useless ex-husband of yours?"
This was Grant Butcher, the perfect son-in-law Dorothy had just found for Lily. "Why, Mr. Butcher, what brings you in today?"
"How can you let someone like this in here? He's smelling up the place. Aunt Dorothy told me that she would let Lily divorce you as soon as possible. So from now on, please don't interfere in her life. I'll take good care of her."
Garrett turned around and asked the agent,
"What did he say to you?"
"He said he wanted to buy a condo," she answered.
"Buy a condo?" Garrett laughed. "I hate to tell you this, but we sell high-end real estate here. Do you think you'd even qualify for a mortgage?"
"Well, I don't think that's really up to you. Are you in charge here?"
"I'm the manager."
"Why, Lily, what are you doing here?"
"Lily, who's this?" Garrett asked.
"This is my best friend, Rachel."
"I'm Lily's boyfriend. Aunt Dorothy introduced us to each other. Since we'll be married soon, I guess I'll be your brother-in-law from now on."
"Who do you think you are? You don't deserve someone as nice as Lily. And my only brother-in-law is Kevin. Who the hell are you? Lily, how can you even be with a schmuck like this?"
"Lily, your friend seems to have already made up her mind about me. What have I done wrong?"
By then, Kevin had finished his call and walked back over to them. He stared intently at Garrett.
"What are you still standing here for? This isn't a grocery store. Not everyone can just walk in here off the street."
"Well, what if I want to buy one of your properties?"
"Wow. Aunt Dorothy said you're worthless, but you sure are good at bragging. This is the Corwin Tower. The penthouse is available for anyone who can afford the price tag. $8 million. Can you afford it?"
"Who said I can't afford it?" He just took out a black card from his wallet and looked at the rude agent who had greeted him when he walked in. Then he walked over and handed it to a different agent. Just then, Garrett's phone rang. When he saw the caller ID, he quickly stepped away and answered the call. "Is the transaction complete?"
"Yes, sir."
Garrett finished his call and walked back to them.
"You still haven't left? If you can buy the Corwin Tower penthouse, I will personally kiss your..."
"But Mr. Butcher, this gentleman has already bought the Corwin Tower penthouse," Lisa told him.
"What did you say?"
"Will that be the left cheek or the right?"
"How dare you talk to me like this? I'm not afraid of you. I work for the Williams Corporation."
Just then, everyone turned to see a distinguished-looking middle-aged man rush through the front door and race up to Garrett saying,
"You are no longer an employee of the Williams Corporation. Please turn in your access badge." "Director Turner, what are you doing here? It's a good thing I came down here. I wouldn't know how you treat our customers."
Turner knew that Kevin liked to keep a low profile. When he noticed that his CEO was giving him a look that said, "Don't tell them who I am." On the way over to the office, Turner had gotten a call from Miss Wilson, Kevin's chief of staff. She explained the situation and also sent the video surveillance from the office's security system, and he watched it on his phone. It was damning evidence.
"Director Turner, please, you can't fire me. Vice President Ambrose is my uncle. Let me call him." "Sir, I hate to trouble you, but could you please come with me to the office? The vice president is a reasonable man. As long as you explain to him what happened, I think he'll understand the situation."
Kevin looked over at Lily and then walked towards the elevator with Turner and Garrett. "Rachel, do you think something will happen to Kevin?" "Don't worry, Kevin will be fine." The elevator stopped on the 14th floor where Garrett's office was located.
"Director Turner, I advise you to leave before my uncle arrives."
"Garrett, do you really think your uncle can save you this time?"
"I sure do." My uncle is the vice president of the company. He can easily fire you." A few minutes later, the office door opened forcefully. In a deep, arrogant voice, Garrett's uncle Ambrose snarled, "Mark Turner, how dare you fire one of my employees?" "Uncle Ed, thanks for getting here so fast." As Ambrose listened to his nephew's story, his eyes fell on Kevin. "So this horrible situation is all your fault?"
Hi, Kevin here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Insta Empire now with the link in the description.